In the NBA, there was a lot of talks in the offseason about James Harden possibly going back to Houston. He was thinking about going to the Clippers. There's some things that they weren't trying to give up. 76ers wanted Terrence Mann. Clippers wasn't trying to budge. And then ultimately, the trade was actually happened today, which is crazy because this is the NFL trade line day. So it's like the NBA was like, look, we need to get some news in there a little bit too. So I feel like it's a little funny that happened. But just to give the full details, the Clippers traded Marcus Morris, Robert Covington, Nicholas Batum, KJ Martin, a 2026 and 2028 first rounders, two second rounders, and a pick swap to the 76ers for James Harden and PJ Tucker. Um, Big splash trade, but we got to figure out who actually won this trade. So, Carl, I'm gonna go to you first. Um, who do you think won this trade?
Philly. I think Philly wins this trade. They got rid of a guy they didn't want. They offloaded a big contract that the guy that they didn't want had. Uh, yeah, they lost defense with PJ Tucker, but you gained Nicholas Batum, who I think I know he's older, he's up there in age, but I still think he's a solid defender. You gain a mid range threat with Marcus Morris. I can't remember who else they got. You just said it, but you gained
That
the
was
picks.
Robert Covington
Um,
and KJ Martin.
Robert Covington for sure, a defensive guy. Philly, he was already with Philly before. I think he originally came from Philly. Like I think that's where he started his career. Can't remember between them or the Rockets, but I think it was there. Um, so you pick up defensive pieces. You get rid of a guy you really didn't want. You already won 2 games without Harden, and Maxey looks like he's good enough to step in that role. So I think the 76ers clearly won here. Uh, that's really all I got to say about that.
Marky Mark.
Man, well, I agree. I do believe the 76ers won the trade, but it's not like it was like a bad, release because I think the Clippers got some solid. I mean, they did gain James Harden, and Penn physical. Yes, he did. He does look good still. He can still play. So, I mean, him and PJ Tucker going over to the Clippers with already Russell Westbrook and Paul George and Kawhi. So they got a veteran team. So they, plan on making a deep push in the playoffs. Long as everybody stays healthy. So I mean, but I do think the 76ers want to trade because they are in the East and they are one of the beasts in the East and they unloaded somebody like Carl said that had a big contract. So I mean, and then B get to like be free now. So it's over. It's finally over. You ain't got to worry about anything else. So yeah, I do think 76ers won this because they are. I feel like that move right there made them more important in the East versus what the Clippers did to make them more important in the West. So
Dave, before you go, can I say one more thing?
Mm-hmm.
And J-Mo touched on this, I believe, I think it was last week. It solidifies the fact that Tobias Harris will be the third option and not the fourth option, and Tobias Harris will be way more effective in that role. So,
Yeah. I think this was the second time that Tobias Harris was pretty much like the fourth option because he was also the fourth option when Jimmy Butler was there because it was Jimmy Butler, Ben Simmons, Joel Embiid, and Tobias Harris. But now he's actually back into the third option role, so it does help out with him. He'll be able to focus more on like scoring and other things that help out in with the 76ers. But I definitely agree. I also believe that the 76ers won this trade. Now I will say that this does sort of help the Clippers as well, because you gain another defensive guy in PJ Tucker. PJ Tucker is definitely going to make sure he hustles a lot. He's going to play great defense no matter what. But the only thing is now you have three players of your team that are hurt very often, and what is that really going to do? And what what James Harden are you going to get? Yes, he said he was excited to be there, but he was excited to be in Houston, and we saw how that went out. He was excited to be in Brooklyn, and we saw how that worked out. He was excited to be in Philly, and now he's with the Clippers. Um, Now if they do start Russell Westbrook, James Harden, and they start of course along with Kawhi and PG, that'll be the first time in NBA history that California-born players all play on the same team and start. So that will be some history there for the Clippers. But overall, I don't think this necessarily really moves the needle for the Clippers, because yes, they gained somebody that who was a 10-time All Star. He's a former MVP. We know what he can do as far as offense, but Now we got to see what happens when he plays off the ball. Um, um, if how effective is Russell Westbrook going to be now that he pretty much moves into the fourth option instead of the third option? Um, how healthy is this? How healthy are they going to be throughout the season? I think that's the biggest thing for me. What is Kawhi has played every game so far. Um, Paul George is still what he is. Russ has played. He's done his best to play as hard. We know he's going to play 110% every single game. But are we going to see that out of James Harden? And we know that that has not been the case throughout his career. I think the last time he really gave his full effort that we saw, especially on both sides of the ball, was when he was with OKC. Now he's played defense a few times, and you see that he would hustles at times, but it's not consistent. And last time we seen James Harden, he pretty much did not play well in the playoffs. He had 2 really good games, and then that was pretty much it for the rest of the season. And then we saw the drama that was going on in the offseason where he called Daryl Moore a liar and everything. So it was creating it was a toxic relationship, and it was creating toxicity around the team. So it was good that he's gone. It alleviates everything from everybody. And now James Harden can focus on basketball, and the same thing for the 76ers. And I like the fact that Tyrese Maxey now, even though he was already starting without Harden being there, he doesn't have to worry about James Harden being in the building. And he's full-fledged the starter. He's the point guard for the future. So I like what that happens with them. And like Carl said, you lose defense, but you gain defense also with Robert Covington, who we all know he's one of the best wing defenders in the league. And then you got Nicholas Batum, who will help out, and Marcus Morris is also another guy that's going to play some defense as well. So I think it's a win-win, but I would more so give the edge to the 76ers.
Yeah, my thing with James Harden is, you're forcing yourself to the Clippers, but I don't know, like, what is he going to do? Like, I don't see James Harden as a slasher. I don't see James Harden as a guy that's going to use screens to get open and catch and shoot threes or get the ball on the wing and not slow down the pace of the offense. I have a tough time seeing how James Harden fits. Like, you have guys like Paul George. You have guys like Kawhi. Russ is going to try to facilitate the rock. I don't know if you bring a Harden off the bench because of his contract. I personally just can't see the fit there.
I mean, that just means somebody on the team got to just, I guess, humble themselves, because all 5 of them aren't going to start. So I mean,
more than likely that's going to be Russ. Russ is, to me, it seems like it'll be Russ. I'm not sure if they. I don't think they traded all of that for Harden to put him on the bench.
And to me, that's the thing. I don't see the fit, because he's just going to be in the same situation in Philly. And we've seen in Philly, like, he'll have a couple good games here and there, but that's not enough for the amount of money you make. I personally don't see the fit. I don't see why he was such, I want to go to the Clippers, and the Clippers actually made the move. But hey, we'll find out.
No, we'll see. We'll see. Definitely something to pay more close attention to. But now we got to hit the NFL.
Go down, another all-star step up. So
yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Like we said, the Clippers got who they wanted. I guess they wanted James Harden. James Harden wanted to go there, and now they got their wish. So let's see how it works out for them.
Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all in the next episode.